Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Transparent Theology. My name is Caleb Dyer. This is a place where we will hopefully get to work through some complex theological topics and bring some much needed clarity. I've been wanting to start this kind of podcast for a while, but it just took some time and finally just pulling the trigger to get it done. When I got to college and started my biblical studies degree, I always felt kind of left out and out of place because I didn't understand some of the big words and these topics that all the Theo bros wanted to talk about. And I hate that for other people who have to go through the same situation. So kind of the idea behind this is that it'll be a place where you can understand these topics and be able to comprehend them and see through them clearly. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I've been married for about a year and a half. My wife and I currently live in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Got my undergrad in biblical and theological studies, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in biblical theology. I love studying and reading about theology, and honestly, that's what made me want to start this podcast. I want to create a space to develop theological thought in a way that is accessible and hopefully entertaining, at least to me. As far as my faith tradition goes, it's a little complex at this point. I grew up in a non-denominational semi-Baptist church, and I learned a decent amount there. They mainly instilled in me a love for God's word, which has helped me tremendously in my life. I went to a Baptist college, and the majority of my beliefs were kind of developed during the years in school and then so far directly after school. There was a solid couple months where I was seriously interested in Catholicism and then Eastern Orthodoxy. I was never quite convinced of some of their major tenets. Because of this, I have some pretty wide and varied views on a lot of different topics, and many of these I'm actually still developing my views on, and so this will be a place to work some of that out, and hopefully I don't make a fool of myself and have it recorded forever, so we'll see. Some of the areas, the topics that I'm interested in that I'm hoping to flesh out on this podcast are going to be things like salvation and the different aspects of that, look at some of the atonement theories, dive into some Christology, some Trinitarian stuff, covenant theology, historical theology, some other just general historical church figures, and look at the figures and how they impacted the faith, look at other church traditions. I have decent friend that I grew up with who is a Lutheran, and I'm hoping to get some conversation with him. I've been interested in Lutheranism as well. There's not really a lot of areas that I'm not interested in, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring in some people. I have a good Catholic friend who's super into theology and actually has a YouTube channel that I watch sometimes. We went to school together for a little while, but all this, and then just some general theological reflections, things that will impact how you live your life, because I think that that's incredibly important. I know that you're going to get tired of just hearing my voice, so I'm going to have some of those friends on. I'm going to have some professors and some others who I'm going to have on here and just help me get through some of this stuff, so that way it's not boring. I know that if I were listening to one person talk over and over again, I would get incredibly bored. So hopefully these external sources will bring some change and some entertainment and some energy that maybe I couldn't provide on my own. So I'm super pumped about this. Over the next couple episodes, we're going to be diving into the topic of union with Christ. That is one of the things that I'm most passionate about right now. And kind of the thesis will be that union with Christ is the center of the gospel. So if that's interesting to you, then please stick around, listen to the next couple episodes, and we'll go through some of the different facets of what union with Christ actually means. And I'm going to go through some of my own views, some of my own understandings of stuff, and hopefully you guys find that interesting. So if you guys have any questions or any ideas or anything like that, I really want to hear from you, because I want this podcast to be for people who are listening to it. So if I start going off the rails on something that people don't care about, then you guys are going to stop tuning in. And I want this to be helpful for you in your walk and in your life. So if you guys have any topics that you're really interested in, any ideas that you want me to talk about, any pushback on any of the things that I say, if I get something wrong, which I guaranteed to get something wrong, then I want to be corrected. So you guys can shoot me an email at transparent.theology@gmail.com. So check that out. And I would love to hear from you guys. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're enjoying it, you can shoot me an email there, and hopefully I will be hearing more from you guys as this show continues to grow. hopefully I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.